Offensively was kind of anemic tonight. Couldn't get anything going. Couldn't get leadoff hitters on base. When we did get guys on base or in scoring position, which wasn't often, but we did, we couldn't capitalize. Wind was blowing dead into right, which doesn't suit us well because we drive the ball kind of that way with all our lefties, and even our righties hit the ball that way, it seems like. So we hit a few balls good, but not enough. Too many fly balls. Um, Bottom line is we did not do a very good job offensively. Our pitchers certainly did well enough to keep us in the game. We just, getting shut out, and their pitchers they threw did not have good numbers. Those were not frontline guys they were throwing at us. So disappointing to say the least. But if I looked at the whole uh, scope of the season and midweek games, it's hard to not be pleased the fact that we were going to basically try to be undefeated this year, albeit 8 games, but still that's pretty good. Nobody else, I don't think, in the country has done that. So it's unfortunate that we had to finish this way on our last game, and the fact that we did so well on Sunday. But it's been that year. It's just kind of very hard to get it together and keep it rolling. Just when we think we got a little bit going, momentum gets taken back. So we need to turn the page again and be ready to go at Louisville.
All right, Gino, we're going to go to Josh White of WVUM. Josh, go ahead.
I know it might be tough to do to take a step back after tonight, but you mentioned the success in midweek games this year. Just how important is that for you guys, when the postseason resume comes around the corner and that gets decided by the committee in a couple of weeks?
Well, I hope so. I mean, they always mention that you're out of conference schedule and how important it is. I've seen teams in the past that have not played well out of conference, and it's hurt them. It's bit them, and they've some teams have been left out looking in the tournament. So for us, we're fortunate that we know we're going to play good teams. The competition is going to be good because it's the in-state teams that we have the deals with, that we had good relationships with over the years that we've played. So yeah, I mean it's important, and it's certainly something that we've emphasized. I think we've done a good job of midweek games. I don't know what our record is over the last 3 years, but I'm certain it's pretty good. And we got to obviously you're right, a step back. And that's why I mentioned to you overall, if I look at the whole scope of it, the midweek games, we've done a good job. It just stinks that we had to finish on this note right here where we just didn't do anything offensively.
And then kind of on that same note, you guys won 14 of your last 16 games at the Light. And obviously, you had a couple tough losses early in the year. What adjustments did you see from your team at winning at home?
I don't know, Josh. I mean, if you look back during that time, we were just playing very solid team baseball. If I think back, and I'm probably mess up some of the games, but of course the midweek ones, I recall us swinging the bat really well for the most part in those games. It has been unusual that we've used a lot of guys from the past where we usually had a number 4 starter, and we would throw that guy, and then he'd go a little deeper in the game. Whereas this year we kind of had to match it and patch it and put it together and throw a guy, throw really a lot of guys in the pen a couple innings, which is what the plan was today, just because of our situation this year and how it's been inconsistent with the rotation and whatnot. But I feel like if I go back to the games that we won, whether it's Clemson or Duke or App State, the 2 out of 3 against Georgia Tech, and I might be missing a game here and there, a series here, but I felt like those games, they were all pretty complete games where we pitched very well, we swung the bat very well, we defended, we just played very good team baseball. And tonight we didn't do that. Offense is a huge part of the team, and there was really not a whole lot to be excited about.
And then just tonight, the pitching staff as a whole, you mentioned using a bunch of different guys, and a lot of them had success. What do you see from each of them out there?
Oh gosh, I mean, they all threw pretty good. I probably didn't come away from it saying any one guy was really stand out. They had their moments. They had their moments where they looked good, and then they had some moments where they, maybe not as good. But overall, when you consider the fact that it was 3 runs we gave up over the game, and you're using that many guys, I thought the guys did a pretty good job. And you got to understand, these guys that threw today, other than McFarland, but I should say the 3 guys, Aguayas, Medeiros, and Dubberly, they haven't thrown a lot. And it was important for us to throw these guys because they just haven't had the opportunities that could come this weekend and certainly into the ACC tournament, depending on how many games we play there. But and it was important that we got these guys in the games. They have not been throwing, and I thought because of that, if you consider that, I think they did a pretty good job.
And then just the last one I have for you, Gino, just the award winners that you have, Christian, Carson, Anthony, and Yo-Yo, just how much do those guys mean to this team? Not obviously just down the stretch, but the entire year.
Well, it's voted on by, excuse me, the players and the staff. So obviously that's the ultimate respect when you got your teammates and your coaches that are putting in the vote. So the guys, obviously Palmquist, stood out this year, was very dominating. So that was pretty an easy one there, I think. And the home run one always is an easy one because that's just the stat there. But Christian has been just a pleasant surprise for all of us, and such a great kid and great family and great story. And for him to come in here and just I really didn't know what to expect. And going back to when he first got here, not knowing if he would even be at practice because of his class schedule, and then be our MVP and Rookie of the Year. And he, he's very deserving of it, obviously. And the other award is, to me, that's a huge one, because that's players looking up to you, thinking that you really exemplify what a leader should be. I don't know if there's any more compliment that can be given to a player than that. And Anthony is very deserving of that.
Thank you.
All right, Gino, we have time for a couple more. We're going to go to Austin Pert of the Miami Hurricane. Austin, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, another a tough night offensively. Obviously, the struggles against left-handed pitchers have been apparent. What do you say about that, especially going into Louisville, who might throw 3 left-handed pitchers this weekend?
Well, it's not something we haven't worked on. They face lefties every day. I throw, and Jonathan throws, and JD throws. I don't know many staffs that have 3 lefties that throw on their staff. But we got a lot of lefties in our lineup, albeit we had 5 today, not 6, but we had 5 with 4 righties to start the game. And, to tell you the truth, I thought our lefties maybe gave better at-bats in the game than the righties did. The righties did not give good at-bats today. If you think about our righties that are in the lineup, they got to do a better job with left-handers. And this lefty that started was a mid-80s guy. It was not a guy that we're used to seeing. So, the lefties has certainly been an issue. It's a crazy game, Austin. It's a crazy game because our same lefties hit their freshman year or sophomore years, and that's Villar and Dell and Terrell. I guess it'd be 3 of them. Gates was in the lineup, but he's not playing this year, being hurt. So those 3 guys, they all hit really, really good off of lefties in 2019. I don't use 20 as a season because it just wasn't a big enough sample size. But, and those guys' numbers have actually come up. Dell was not hitting very good against lefties, and now he's up to 300, a little over 300. He was going into the game. Terrell and Villar a little bit down hitting on lefties, but but those guys are going to be in our lineup, and we need other guys to step up, and the righties need to do a good job. And we try to manufacture some things. We've been bunting really good. We tried to lay down a bunt, multiple bunts today, and everybody took the strikes. They didn't like the pitch, which, you guys can't be picky when we're trying to bunt. It can't be just one zone. They got to be able to bunt different zones in the strike zone. So it's something we know we're working on. And, I didn't know Louisville has 3 lefty starters. Is that right? They have 3 lefty starters. That'll be a major test for us.
All right, Gino, our last question for you comes from Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Gino. I'm just wondering about the Louisville series and the importance of it. Is it even more critical now? Or, I'm wondering how you feel about it. You did so great in the Georgia Tech series. Was that enough to kind of ensure, in your mind, an NCAA berth? Or, how you feeling going in there?
Every game is critical. Every game now is critical. I told them before the game, biggest game of the year is this one right here. And, the last one on Sunday against Georgia Tech was the biggest game of the year at that time, and that was a big win. you know, how critical, I don't know this game. I mean, I can't tell you that. We need to be ready to play against Louisville. I know that. I'm not sure we're going to go undefeated the rest of the way out, but we need to play better and put ourselves in a position to win the game. And we got to swing the bat better, bottom line. I mean, that's what I take away from this game is we just didn't swing the bat well at all. If we do that, that's not going to be very good for us. Whether we make it to the playoffs or not, it'll be a quick season, quick ending, because you got to score runs and you got to swing the bat. You got to get better at bats than what we did tonight.